or on the replay, and I will make sure that I go back through and look at any messages that were left and answer them if I can. We are going to discuss the feeling of crazy as our bodies start to change and as we kind of go through some of the hormonal processes that are supposed to be normal for us women, but of course never feel normal when we are the ones that are actually going through it. So if you are new, my name is Diane. Welcome to this broadcast. If you're joining me on Facebook, always feel free to hit that like button. If you are joining me on YouTube, I always appreciate a subscribe, and that way when I go live on either places, you'll be notified, and you can either join us live or you'll be notified when this broadcast goes up as a recording. For the past 25 years, I have been helping women find nutrition plans and fitness programs to help them look and feel their best, and most importantly, live their authentic life. And for me, in the last couple of years, as I have been going through the perimenopause and into the menopausal phases, intermittent fasting has really been that thing that has helped me feel a lot less crazy. And I'm going to share a little bit of my journey through crazy and how I kind of got to where I am today, where I'm feeling very stable and very confident in my skin and feel like I'm living my most authentic life. And hopefully something that I share with you guys tonight will resonate with you and help you feel like what you're going through is not crazy, but just part of a process that we women go through as we begin to go through the aging process. So my crazy started, I hate to say this because this always sounds a little bit confusing, but it started probably when I was 40, or maybe just a little bit before that, when I did kind of go through my miscarriage and my hormones were all out of whack and we were desperately trying to have a baby again. And nothing seemed to be working right, so I went through a little bit of infertility issues. Finally, we had our daughter. I nursed her for about a year, and I swear I went from nursing right into perimenopause. And I call my 40s sort of my decade in hormonal hell, because I was up and down and all over the place, from pregnancy to nursing to really being an aging woman in the very beginning stages of my 40s, when I was kind of trying to balance out my hormones after nursing my daughter for about, I think I nursed her for about 14 months, and then trying to like settle back into normal, and normal never really happened because I went right into being a mid-40 woman going through some hormonal changes that just happen in your mid-40s. And so it was a really trying time for me emotionally. I was felt super blessed and grateful to have a daughter that was healthy, felt grateful to be pregnant and healthy at 40 and to be able to come back so quickly after a pregnancy. But then it seemed like everything sort of started going downhill for me personally, as I wasn't really able to recover in a way that I hoped I could after having my child and after having nursing. So I kind of went like this and never went kind of back up again. And so I'm going to share a little bit of that with you and some of the stuff that I went through when I went to visit my doctors, which is why I'm sort of at a place in my life now where, I talk to a lot of women about doctor's visits when you're not feeling right, and going in with like one ear open, taking some good notes, taking their advice, and then going home and taking what they said and doing some further research for yourself before you just walk out with a bunch of prescriptions and straight to the drugstore to get them filled. And that's exactly what had happened to me. I was probably in my mid-40s, walked into my doctor's office, had some things I wanted to discuss with him about, the hormonal changes that I was going through, the sudden weight gain, the mood swings, the water retention issues that I was having. I also had a major stress incontinence situation that I was dealing with, and as a runner, that was something that was very trying on me emotionally because I just wanted to run, and I was finding that very emotionally challenging for me with all the stuff I had going on with bladder issues after having two fairly large kids. And so I just wanted someone to sort of understand what I was going through and offer some kind of sound advice or something for me. And this was the doctor that I had been seeing for probably 15 years, so I had a lot of confidence in him. And then when I walked out of his office with 3 prescriptions in my hand, and sort of that feeling like they were kind of like chuckling, like, ha ha ha, that's just sort of what you go through, and here's some meds that will kind of cover some things up and make you feel better. And the real clincher was when one of the prescriptions was for an antidepressant, and I had never ever expressed anything to my doctor that I was actually depressed. I was frustrated, and I was definitely going through some hormonal changes, but I was far from being depressed. And when I asked one of the nurses in the office about this prescription and what it was for, and what they did is they cleverly renamed it and reclassified it, so it wasn't really considered an antidepressant because they renamed it. And it was just something that, you know, perimenopausal or menopausal women took to make everything better for them. The advice that I got was, just take it in private for 30 days and see if the people around you enjoy you more. And I mean, she's lucky I didn't just curse her out on the spot. But I sort of felt like I was allowed as a human being to kind of have some bad days or be stressed out. I mean, I had a toddler at home. I had a 7-year-old at home. We had a busy life. At that time, we were kind of going through some trying times during the economic, you know, crash. And so life wasn't rosy as it was. And then I was going through all these emotional changes as well with my hormones. And I really felt when I left there that I was kind of the laughing stock of the doctor's office when I went in with some really legitimate concerns and some things that I really wanted to get some help with. And that's when I really kind of made a decision that I wasn't going to rely on doctors anymore to kind of help me get through what I was going through. I was going to use testing methods, so like blood tests, just to make sure that I was healthy. But when it came to symptoms or things that I was dealing with that just didn't feel good, as long as I was healthy, I was going to take things into my own hands so that I could be in control of the situation and I wouldn't leave a doctor's office feeling healthy. So a lot of times when I talk about, you know, the autoimmune disease or disorder that I know I have, but I can't name it because I never got tested for it, I did that very specifically because I didn't want to go into a doctor's office and leave feeling crazy again when I described some of the symptoms that I was having or some of the things that I was going through. And just doing enough research on my own, I could kind of compare my symptoms with other symptoms that people were talking about and kind of just practiced what I do now with intermittent fasting and changing some nutritional things and really kind of just building a new relationship with my body as it was changing. And instead of going against my body and feeling even more crazy, I decided to kind of go with the flow of my body and just really kind of sit back into the change, take a couple deep breaths, and kind of get to know my new body as it was becoming an aging woman. And trying not to keep up with or live up to a past that I no longer could. So trying not to chase my 20s or trying not to chase my 30s. And at that point, really not even trying to chase my early 40s, but really trying to get to know what kind of woman and what kind of body I was kind of growing into as a mature or aging woman. And what I've really found through that process was I really liked my body as an aging woman, and that if I really took the time to listen to the signals and those symptoms that I was having and treated them with some respect and tried to kind of learn what they were doing for me and the hints that I was receiving because of them, and try to fix some of those things that were happening through lifestyle and nutritional changes and just some trial and error with my body and trying something and see if it worked and try something and see if that worked and maybe some things didn't work, and then kind of just going back to the drawing board and going back to my research and keep going until I found what I am in now, which is a very settled body, a very healthy body, and even more importantly, a very healthy mind and a very healthy emotional state, because I'm comfortable in my own skin because I've learned to accept it instead of trying to fight it off. And so there's a lot of women that I talk to on a daily basis or I get emails from who are feeling like they're crazy or that they're imagining things or it's their fault that they're feeling the way that they're feeling. And I can tell you now, after talking to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of women, that it's only your fault if you fail to listen to what your body's telling you, and if you choose to take a path other than taking care of yourself and nurturing your body and really taking the time to get to know who you are becoming, because that is what we're going to carry forward with us. We have to be okay with letting go of some of those things that we had in our past and just realizing that we're probably never going to have some things again. And that's okay. Like, I will never have the body that I had in my 20s because I would have to give up my pregnancies and I would have to give up my lifestyle and have to give up some of the things that I have going on in my life right now that I could never imagine giving up to have what I had before that. And so sometimes we have to take that kind of a step back too and say, what am I willing to give up today to have what I had back then when I thought I was happy? And another huge realization I had when I was kind of going through am I crazy phase was that the woman that I was in my 20s and even through a part of my 30s wasn't really a happy place either. And I wasn't even really happy with my body at that time. I was always trying to exercise away something or diet away something or trying to perfect something or compare myself to someone else, and always felt like I was falling short of what I needed to be or what I needed to do. So I wasn't even really a very happy woman at that point in my life either. And why would I want to go back and chase something I wasn't even really happy with when the woman that I am today is a very happy, very blessed, very comfortable woman, and I wouldn't trade that for anything. So sometimes when we're going through this phase, I always recommend that we just take that pause too and look at what we have and how blessed we are for the things that we have and the things that we've worked for, maybe some of the things that we've even sacrificed for, and pay a little bit more attention to what we have in our hand instead of wishing for something more that we may not be able to ever attain, or maybe we just aren't ready to accept or bring into our life. So if you kind of have that phase of feeling crazy, or you have people telling you that you're crazy, trust me or not, it is just a phase. And the best advice that I can give you is to stop fighting it, kind of sit with it a little bit, accept it a little bit, and then surround yourself with some really like-minded women and men, if you can find them. Talk over what you're going through with your spouse, with your children, with your other family members, with your girlfriends. And what I have found through the sharing process that I'm going through is that there's a whole lot of other women who are just like I am, who have suffered some of the same things, who have maybe come through it already or are kind of on their journey through it, and that we are not alone, and we're definitely not crazy. And so settle into who you're becoming as a woman. I'm sure that what you have in your life is amazing, and you wouldn't want to give it up for anything else if you had to have the opportunity. If you had a choice, you would not give up what you have. And really learn to be comfortable with what we are becoming as aging women. I think that we are a great model of what we want other aging women to be, and we can be a great model for what we want women coming up behind us to be. And I think if enough of us start sharing and really start kind of taking control of what we have in our lives and what we'll accept in our lives and what we want for our lives, that we can really be a force that can make a lot of change for not only the community that we have around us, but for those women who are coming up behind us that maybe don't have a mentor or maybe don't have someone that they can share this process with, and that we can be the person that they can count on and they can trust and they can lean on for some mentorship and some strength and support. So if you're crazy or you feel like you're going crazy, you're not. Trust me, you're not. I had many days that I thought I was crazy, and lo and behold, I'm fine. Everything's going to be okay. It's only going to get better from here, and you're not crazy either. Please reach out and find a woman that you can lean on, that you can share with, that you can confide in, that you can get some advice from. We have an amazing community here, so if you're here, you're in a great place. Please feel free to ask questions. Please feel free to share your stories. I always say, if you want to share your story with me, just look my email up and type away. I would love to hear your story and help in any way I can. And then, as always, for those women who have an opportunity or the ability to join one of our courses, you're always welcome to at any time. Our next course starts on July. Again, that's another great community of women where we just take it a little bit deeper and kind of have an opportunity to open up and share a little bit more and learn a little deeper about our bodies. And it is a great place to kind of feel safe and feel like you're a part of a community of women who are going through the same things. But you are definitely not crazy, so don't let anybody tell you that. Let me go over to Facebook first and see what we got going on here. Shayla, my husband's here. Kathleen, good evening to you too, my friend. Kara's here. Michelle, Pamela, what's up, girl? How did your fast go, Pamela? This year is my hell with hormones, but every time they test me, they say my hormones are fine. Not believing it. I put on so much weight. Karen, okay, well, you have to remember this too about hormone tests and anything else. I say hormone tests, weight charts, calorie blocks, all that stuff. Who says it's normal for you? It's a guideline on an average of people. We are not average people. So they told me that my hormones were the same also, and then finally I found a doctor who said she's not even going to bother testing my hormones because if I felt they were out of whack, they were out of whack. No sense drawing blood and testing that, because if they would have come back normal, that would have been a deeper level of crazy I would have been. So if you feel like your hormones are out of whack, they're out of whack for you. And that is very legitimate. So that's when you go back and you do some research and you find out how to get your hormones in balance. And Karen, you are in our intermittent fasting group. So what you're doing has been proven through studies and trials and research to help you settle down in your hormones, getting rid of that soy in your life, watching the dairy that you consume, getting rid of that gluten when it's not necessary in your life. All of those things will settle down your hormones. And remember, there's also no particular time frame in which you're going to feel that happen. It's not an instant. It's going to be your body and your consistency and your commitment to doing some stuff like intermittent fasting, changing your nutrition, getting some solid sleep, surrounding yourself with good and supportive people that will get your body in balance. And it will just take a little bit of time to get yourself there. The more consistent you are, the more you have the mental and emotional buy-in that what you're doing is good, is going to be a faster process for you. And then you just ride it out until you feel like you're back to being normal. But if you feel like they're off, they're off. Lisa, good to see you from Nashville. I hate my body. The past 2 months I gained so much weight. It's crazy. I get tested and it wasn't my hormones. I'm thinking it's totally dietary. I need to get this IF down already and just do it. I eat too much at the, I guess you're saying at the feasting window. Karen, you just got to make a decision. I was very uncommitted to intermittent fasting my first year, and I was in that turmoil stage of, why is it not working for me? I don't understand why I'm not feeling like everybody else. And then I had to just realize that I needed to make some commitments to myself, and I needed to put myself above food, and I needed to put myself above what everybody else thought about what I was doing. And when I got into that frame of mind for myself emotionally and psychologically and then physically is when everything started to fall into place for me. But you have to be willing to make the emotional commitment to you. Nobody else, just you, and your desire to feel good and put your body in a position where it's going to let go of that weight. If you're got one foot in and one foot out, your body's not going to respond in kind, because it's going to continually be in this confusion state of, are you doing something good? Are you not doing something good? So you have to make the commitment. And trust me, I had a year, and I talk about it a lot. I had a year of having temper tantrums over French fries and corn tortilla chips. And then when I realized those were the two things that were kind of messing me up, and I just made a commitment that they couldn't have more power over me than me wanting to feel good, and I just stopped having temper tantrums about those simple little things, is when it really all started to change for me. So you have to want this more than you want other things. And then that's when you'll start to feel the change. Sybil, always good to have you here. Debani, what's up, girl? Didn't make it to 48, was hangry, so I ate. Pamela, congratulations. That's what I call listening to your body. Connolly, my 5-year cancerversary is in September, stage 3 uterine cancer, 6 months of chemo, and just now feeling good again. And Zumba and yoga and IF starting in July. Awesome. Connolly, I can't wait to work with you. It's going to be a great opportunity for you to feel some good things. Lisa, thank you for saying that about testing hormones. I had the experience of feeling crazy after test, came back normal. Yeah. Who's normal by whose standards is what I always want to know. Debani, did my 24, felt better today, broke a fast with avocado and salmon. I'm still making my list of foods I'm sensitive to. Thanks for your help. Debani, you are always welcome, girlfriend. And salmon, avocado, and asparagus is like my dream dinner. So good for you. That's a good combination. Patty, new to you in this group, but I'm certainly impressed. Patty, well, welcome and definitely come back. We always love having you guys with us. Okay, I'm going over here to YouTube, so Facebook, hold on a second. Julie, hi Diane, I'm new to your channel and have been enjoying your videos. I'm that fly on the wall who's trying this on my own for now. I want to try the 12-12 IF. I was doing the 5-6 meals a day. Julie, my best advice for you is try to get to that extended fasting window as fast as you can. Lori, I have followed IF for the last week. Today I ate more pizza, really hungry, doing 16-8. I don't know. Let me see. I'm trying to figure that out. doing 16:8. Am I doomed or just not balanced? And Lori, you're just not balanced, and you will only make those mistakes of eating pizza so many times, and then if you start to listen to your body's going to send you the signals it doesn't feel good. Either you're going to keep self-sabotaging, or you're going to figure it out and start making those decisions that eating those kind of things aren't good for you. Julie, I wanted to know how I eat if I'm a late night person but have to rise early for work, when to eat, and you have to kind of figure that out on your lifestyle, and a 12 to 12 IF is probably not going to work for you. Carolyn, how long did it take for you to stop feeling super hungry in the morning? I've been fasting for 3 weeks now and I'm still struggling. Joining your July group, by the way, looking forward to it. Caroline, you will stop feeling hungry in the morning once you join the July group and you understand your hunger hormones. Teresa, many say carbs will not turn into fat, only energy, but eating fat makes us fat. I'm simply seeing how each body handles which type of macros. Why are the big name docs supporting the high carb, low fat? I don't know. Maybe they have a reason for that, but I can tell you that for me personally, eating carbs makes me fat, and eating fat makes me lean and thin and healthy. So you have to figure that out for yourself. Allison, hey Diane, just wondering if there are any benefits in fasting into morning as opposed to fasting 2 p.m., 8 p.m., and I'm missing out on any of the benefits like mental clarity. I don't think so, Allison. It's just a matter of getting your body into a fasted state for a long enough period of time for your body to reap the benefits. So you have to figure that out. And I always say, build your intermittent fasting schedule around your lifestyle. Don't change your lifestyle to intermittent fast. So you got to make that tweak for you. Suzanne, what are your views about apple cider vinegar? I say if it works for you, apple cider vinegar is great. There's a lot of really good health benefits to it. D.A. Marie, that's like sort of my name. My name is Diane Marie, so that was kind of weird to see, but welcome, I think is it D.A. Marie? D.A. Marie? Going to be with you in July. Will you cover exercise during IF? I have no energy to exercise. Yes, we cover exercising and intermittent fasting on week 2. Mom, let's see. What about the gastric sleeve? How should I start IF? I think with any other person, you start IF very slowly and you work your way into it. And as your body adjusts, then you kind of build into more of your fasting window. So you start slow and you work your way in. Is lemon water okay morning before breaking fast? I think as long as you do it right before you break your fast, it's okay. Some people were feeling like lemon wasn't working for them in their fasting window, so they kind of cut it out. Okay, let me see what we got over here on Facebook again. Karen, you need to just be really, really dedicated to our group and really just believe in the process. And once you start believing in it, your mind will take your body where you need it to go. New to you and this group. Okay, I already did that one. Is it okay to do 6-8 combined with 5-2? 5-2, is that where you do that 500 calories one day or something like that? I guess that, Stacy, everything's fine as long as it's working for you. There's nothing that's wrong with anything as long as you're getting the results that you want and you feel the way you're hoping to feel. If you're not feeling the way you're hoping to feel, then it's probably something that's not working for you. Maria, hi Diane, let's see, where's Maria's go? These move and then I can't see. After 2 months of IF, my body is changing in the right direction and I love the Vital Protein. Awesome, Maria. Vital Protein is good stuff. Stacy, yes. Is it normal to have the runs when you break a fast? It all depends, Lizette. Sometimes if you have too much magnesium, you can kind of get an upset stomach. And then other times, if your digestive system is kind of cleaning itself out, then that might be the way your digestive system does it. I don't know. Okay, so I'm all caught up on YouTube. Thank you so much for your comments and your questions over there. I always appreciate it. And then all my people here on Facebook, always appreciate your comments and questions as well. I'm really looking forward to the July group. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got some really excited women that are going to be joining us. The June group is going fantastic. We're already seeing some really great results in June. We're into our 2nd week, so this is the week we start talking about exercise. You don't necessarily have to jump into exercising in week 2, but I get you nice and informed about how to fast and exercise, and do you want to exercise fasted or feasted? I teach you kind of how to really monitor your heart rate so you'll know what you're kind of working toward exercise-wise. And then when you're ready to jump in, you jump in. And then week 3, we talk about the social and emotional aspects of intermittent fasting. Should you tell your friends and family that you're fasting? Should you not? How do you handle social events? And then week 4 is just sort of a bonus week where we start to close things out and really let you kind of go out on your own fasting. And then we're there to catch you if anything doesn't feel right or if you have any questions about it. So it's a really fun group. It goes really fast. It's full of information, a lot of amazing friends. I guarantee you will probably leave with 2 or 3 new girlfriends. We are international, so we have women all over the world joining our group. So that's always fun too, to kind of hear other people's situations and stories from different parts of the world. So that's always fun. Okay, Joy, let's see. Been doing IF for 8 weeks now. I do the 24 and feeling super. The 24 is my sweet spot. I think that's the best place for women to be. Hubby has noticed that my sleep has improved and said he notices I'm more calm during stressful times. Okay, I'm glad you said that, Joy, because I really have what I like to describe when I'm in my sweet spot of a 20-hour fast and a 4-hour feast is I call it an energized sense of calm. So my body's energized and I'm ready to go and I can handle all of the tasks I have to take in a day, but everything about me mentally and emotionally is very calm. My mind is clear, things don't stress me out as much, everything seems like it's going to be okay. But it's not like you're so subdued that you're like checked out, because you're totally full of energy, but nothing really seems to amp you up. So for those women who are feeling totally emotionally out of balance or are feeling like they're on the verge of crazy, once you really hit that sweet spot with your fasting and you get into that really nice kind of fat adaptive stage and you're no longer a sugar burner and your hormones start to really balance out, hunger hormones and all the other hormones that we have, then you do get that sense of calm, and all that panic and all that rage and all that kind of up and down with your emotions really does settle down, and you do get this really like amazing sense of calm about you that it's really hard to explain until you feel it. Yeah, kind of lead July is going to rock. Where do you find more info on the July group? Trina, you can click on my Facebook timeline picture and there will be a link over on the side, or you'll see a link down below once this video goes live. But I think the easiest thing would be to click my timeline photo. It should be one in there. So Trina and Lizette, you have the same question. You can go there for that. Let me go over here back on YouTube and see what else we got on. Journal in the group. What do you mean journal in the group with question mark? Let's see. Okay. What about HIIT class, keto diet, and IF and gastric sleeve? Not much energy for HIIT with keto. You don't have to do HIIT with keto. HIIT and keto is just a nice little bonus that gets you into that fat burning stage, and HIIT workouts are the workouts that, when you get really good at the HIIT workouts, you get your heart rate up and then you recover. You have the fat burning effects, the afterburn effect of that and all that. So, but you don't have to do HIIT workouts. You just do what's comfortable for you. Looking forward to your July session. Crystal, it'll be great to have you. Is it true that you are a born-again, Bible-believing Christian, hun? I don't know what that means, Brielle. Journal in the group. Do you need a journal, Lori? Gwen, hi, just jumped on. I joined the July group, tried fasting for a few days, and I'm failing terribly. I'm starving and can't make it past 12 hours. I'm concerned this may not work for me. No, Gwen, it'll work for you. You just have to be educated about all of that. So I would say if you're not feeling good at 12 hours, then don't do it. Maybe just skip breakfast and then wait till you get into the July group, and we will teach you how to fast properly. Pia, 16-8 eating pattern working well after 4 weeks, type 1 diabetic, hubby finding benefits as well for him, maybe joining an August group. Pia, that would be awesome. And oh my gosh, the best thing ever is when I have a woman joining Brielle, I don't really think that's a place for us to talk about that here. We're talking about intermittent fasting. I guess you can email if you want to talk about that. Is journaling part of joining your group? We have an intermittent fasting journal, Lori, that we provide for you, and we suggest that you use the intermittent fasting journal to kind of document your journey. And I say use a journal because life happens. And if something throws you off track with intermittent fasting socially or emotionally, then you have sort of a record of what you did and how you felt and what you did to get through some things. And then you can have the journal to kind of reference to get you back on track. So that's what I use journals for, is to kind of document what I'm going through at the time in case life happens. Then I can go back and reference it and give myself proof that it worked. I miss what you said about HIIT and keto. Okay, so you don't have to do HIIT workouts is what I said. HIIT workout is a choice, and if it's not something that you want to do, just find another way to exercise. Tamara, pretty new to IF, success with 18.6, have found all dairy bloats me. Yes. How do I tune into other foods that are not good? You have to just really get good with, you have to get really good with getting to know your body. Like I said, when I was talking about kind of the journey that I had, I have been extremely dairy sensitive my entire life, and I didn't really figure that out till I was in my 40s, because both of my kids were had very severe reactions to dairy, and then I really didn't make the connection with all the types of dairy that were affecting me until I kind of went through this process in my mid 40s. So you want to look for not just dairy, but anything with whey, anything with casein, and anything with carrageenan, and then also avoid all soy. And once you get all of those things out of your system, it takes a couple of weeks. Once you're really consistent with getting the whey, the dairy. So remember, dairy doesn't necessarily mean milk and cheese. Dairy comes in the form of powdered whey, which is put into a lot of like processed foods. It's put in bread. It's put in a lot of things that you would never imagine that it would be in there. So you have to get all of that out of your system before you'll start to notice the bloating kind of going away. Okay, so let me see. I think there's a couple more comments here on Facebook, and then I'm going to probably have to jump off. Okay. Okay, and then so the other foods, you just have to pay attention to your body. So the cleaner your body gets, the more things you take out of your body that's going to throw you off, the more obvious a food intolerance reaction is. So if you're listening and you're paying attention to how you feel, then you can go back and sort of recount your day and figure out what you put in your body that kind of made you had a reaction. And that's what I did, is I just ate really, really clean, like literally fruits and vegetables. And then I started incorporating some things, and I realized that peanut butter was something that was causing me some problems. And all forms of whey and dairy, gluten was really bad. And then what happens sometimes too is as you get conflicting intolerances out of your body, then what happens is then reactions kind of come back in a different way. So you gotta be really tuned in. Okay, a couple more. I think my YouTube phone is going to die on me, so I'm gonna bump off here really quick. I've been doing several days of 20-hour fast. I work out in the morning during fasted state. It's a pretty intensive boot camp. I feel fatigued easier. Will this get better? Yes, probably. And then you probably need to just make sure that you're fueling your body properly the night before. So that's what I noticed. I'm a runner, and I was running long distances, and what I had to do is I had to make sure that I fueled myself properly the night before for a morning workout. And so you might need to put like some sweet potatoes or something into your life to kind of get you through the morning time, or get some good fats in you, like eat a whole avocado, eat a lot of nuts, stuff like that. Okay, I'm gonna bust out of here. I think I'm too skinny. I do cross country. Well, if you're too skinny, then eat more, or eat more fat or something. And again, that's one of those things that is your own thing. And if you need to eat more, you eat more. Okay. So thanks so much for joining me. We will have links to the July group on the Facebook. Pamela, have fun with your grandkids. Oh, you must be having the time of your life. Okay, Lori, you're welcome. We'll put links to the July group on Facebook. It's already been posted on YouTube as well. Any one of my intermittent fasting for today's aging woman videos on Facebook has the link to the July group. And then Facebook, if you hit my timeline, you can get to the July group link as well. And worst case scenario, just email me and I'll get it to you as well. I'm new here, so question is, when is your July group starting? July 1st. And then YouTube, we just posted the group, but you can find it in the comments feed. Michaela, thanks. I have high metabolism. I eat Big Macs. Doesn't help. Okay, well, good for you, Michaela. Eat away. All right. Good night, you guys. Thanks again for joining me. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be iffy because it is my son's birthday. He's turning 17 tomorrow. We don't know what our plans are yet. So if I can't make it back in time to do a Facebook and a YouTube Live at 9 p.m., I will put a message up on Facebook. I can't do that on YouTube, so just check my Facebook page if I'm not going to be available tomorrow night, and then I'll catch you guys on Wednesday. But if I can make it back, then I'll be here for sure tomorrow night with you guys. Mwah! Have a good night. Thanks for joining me.